This video brought in 5 million views and turned Maggie McCormick from a self-help podiatrist with 3,000 subscribers into a breakout creator with over 140,000 subscribers in just 1 month. But this wasn't an overnight fluke, you guys. It was built on something most small creators overlook, a simple 3-step framework anyone can use in their content. And today I'm gonna show you exactly how she did it and how you can apply the same formula to grow faster on your channel. And at the end, I'm even gonna show you how much money she made from this one video. And it's totally fine because she's already made a video about it. Let's get into it. My name is Scott Simpson. I'm a YouTube strategist who's helped thousands of creators grow their channels with authentic storytelling and proven strategy. And if you're a small creator thinking you need flashy editing or a viral stunt to succeed, this breakaway breakdown is gonna change your mind. Let's go. So how did one video launch Maggie's channel into the stratosphere so quickly? Well, before I break down my 3-step method for the content structure, we first need to analyze the packaging. I'm talking titles and thumbnails, folks. First off, the thumbnail, although subtle, speaks directly to the soul of the audience. In 2025, it is vitally important for you to connect with someone on a soul level because there is so much AI slop out there that's trying to steal our attention. People are craving that connection. And I found that micro expressions work better than the typical YouTube face in 2025 because they are more honest. They're more trustworthy. If you look at her thumbnail, her expression kind of has a hint of sadness maybe and realization, and it almost gives off this vibe that's like, you want to hear what I have to say. And then having text that says don't waste your life on the thumbnail is indicative of Maggie having a personal experience backing the thoughts that she's about to share. It's coming from tried and true action. It's coming from real wisdom. Here's a pro tip that we've been using with some of our clients. It's also a bit of a low resolution thumbnail, which reinforces the trust factor. It's almost like a real human created a thumbnail with Canva and didn't really know what they were doing, but because they didn't know what they were doing and everybody else doesn't know what they're doing, it's a connection point. Does that make sense? Trust me, it works. And now let's talk about the title. It took me 30 years plus to realize what I'll tell you in 10 minutes. It's short, it's personal, and it's packed with tension and value. You're immediately asking the question, what did she realize about wasting life? Why did it take her 30 years to figure this out? And how exciting is it that we can get all of this wisdom in a very short, condensed, packaged 10 minutes? That's exciting. That earns a click. This is what I call the curiosity contract. When your title makes a promise and your intro sets up a mystery, we're almost obligated to click. It's the same tactic we've seen from other creators like Jay Shetty, Nathaniel Drew, and Matt D'Avella. They start with a question in their packaging that the audience has to then click on the video to get that question answered. All right, but Maggie didn't just hook you with an empty promise in her packaging. She held you in her content. Just listen to her first line.
What if I told you that the thing that you're desperately chasing, the perfect body, fame, success, more money, isn't actually what you want?
So right out of the gate, you're not just watching her, you're watching yourself. Here's what I'm talking about. I call it the layered mirror method. Step 1, open with a universal struggle. Maggie chose the pursuit of validation. It's broad enough to hook millions, but real enough to feel personal. The audience connects with it because they're feeling that way themselves. Then step 2, zoom into your own story. She tells us about wanting to be famous at 12, feeling unseen, and chasing acting gigs. The details make it credible, but again, it builds empathy. And then step 3, zoom back out and universalize. That's when she brings in stories of her patients, people in their 80s and 90s who are still searching for meaning, still growing, still falling into the same emotional traps. And again, we connect with it on a soul level. We're connected to the content because it's reflecting how we feel. And that, my friends, is when her story becomes your story. That's when the comments explode. That's when people email. That's why she gained 137,000 subscribers in 1 month. So now let's talk about how you can apply this. Consider starting your next video with a personal truth that maybe feels a little bit risky to say. Something very specific, something you felt, but that you also know that others have felt too. And then skip the fluff and get to the good part in 10 seconds or less. And then anchor your message into a personal story, not a tips list. A real story with tension and transformation and a real human shift. So that way the audience gets connected to you. And then finally, don't niche down, niche in. Maggie didn't go viral because she made videos for everyone. She made one video for someone who felt like her. That's the difference. That's the secret. And you guys will see the same patterns in creators again, like Nathaniel Drew, who monologues about his internal chaos like it's a travel vlog, or even Ali Abdaal's early content. And I'm not talking about the productivity tips. I'm talking about when he would create content about him learning medicine and surviving medical school. He's taking you on a journey that you see reflected in yourself. All right, you guys, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's talk numbers. Maggie's video in the first 3 weeks after posting made over $15,000 in United States dollars. She says it's even more in Australian, which is where she lives, because of the exchange rates. And she did this all just from AdSense. Her total earnings for that month passed $16,000 across her entire channel. But that's not the real payoff. The money is great, but the real payoff is community. It's audience, it's connection, and it's credibility. It's building a community of people who know, like, and trust you and want to come back time and time again to hear what you have to say. Maggie's mission, and you can feel it, it wasn't to go viral. She didn't edit for clicks. She shared it to connect. So if you're a beginner on YouTube and you're thinking, would anyone even be interested in my story? The answer is yes. If it's told with honesty, structure, value, intention. You don't need a massive budget or fancy B-roll or edits every 2 seconds. You just need a reason to share and the courage to hit record. All right, guys, if you liked this video, check out this video right here on Sean Overton. There's more than one way to break the algorithm, and Sean's first video exploded his channel because of a few simple structure tips. Click here to watch that next. See ya.